friends, my name is Hannah and you are watching the Wishing Clock channel here on YouTube. Today I have for you a recap of February, and it actually ended up being a pretty good month. The first thing I'm going to go over with you is going to be my numbers. I did make about $3,000 across all three platforms, which for a homeschooling, part-time working mom is pretty great. I don't have childcare. I homeschool one of my kids, and so my take-home pay was $2,085. If you put in, about 24, 25 hours a week, my take-home pay was $20.85 per hour, which is pretty great, being able to keep my kids in tow with me or in the house with me at all times. We're going to go over some sales. I'm sorry if I sound a little stuffy. We're going to go over eBay first. So the first item that sold is a Skies Are Blue Stitch Fix blazer. You guys saw this recently in a haul and it sold fairly quickly. It was new with tags, found in an old bin at the Goodwill outlet, and it sold for $28 plus shipping. The next item is a J. Jill long sleeve blouse. I had this listed at $30 but had it open for offers, and somebody sent me an offer for $22 plus shipping. I went ahead and accepted. And then the next three sales you guys heard me talking about in the video where I was going to originally haul them, but they sold so fast in under 24 hours that you only saw one of them. And the brand is Cantha Bay. Every single one of these had a flaw. The one that had the least flaws was the red Cantha Bay caftan dress, I want to say. Yeah. And it sold for $39 plus shipping very quickly on eBay. The next is a Cantha Bay kimono, and this was a blue floral long length kimono, and it sold for $22 plus shipping, even though it had both stains and holes. The next is a Cantha Bay caftan, and this is the yellow one. It sold for $35 plus shipping. So yeah, that brand for sure, which I will have popped up on the screen, is a one to keep an eye out for, because if items that are flawed are selling for over $30, I can only imagine the return and the interest that a good condition one is going to bring. The next item is a Yumi Kim jumpsuit. I do not recommend this brand. I did get it in liquidation. My cost of goods, I think, was $5 a piece, though, because of a coupon I had. So it sold for $25 plus shipping, new with tags, but the retail on those is insane, and it did take months for this one to sell, and I still have some. Okay, now we're into Poshmark. I have Born Caramel Western boots in brown leather. These sold for $25. I did have them listed around $40, I want to say. But I received an offer for $25 and went ahead and accepted it. The next item is Mark Fisher. These are the Zala Pink patent pumps, and if you watched my unboxing for New with Tag Outlet, I got them in that. My specific cost of goods for that box was $6 or $7 a piece due to some credits that I have. But the actual cost per shoe for, in general without credits would be, I want to say $11. So pretty good deal, sold for $43. The next item is actually a personal item that I wore for over a year. It's a Lululemon Speed Stained Glass Love Nightfall Black Luxtreme leggings in a size 10, and they sold for $24. So pretty great for getting a year out of them before selling them. The next item is a pair of driftwood jeans. These were an amazing find in a bin, an old bin, yet again, at the Goodwill outlet. These sold for $65, and yeah, very happy. They sold within a couple weeks, I want to say 2-3 weeks. The next item is a Bowden Martha dress that I definitely had priced way too high. I had it priced like it was new with tags at like $50 or over $50 or something insane. It did eventually sell for $32, which, is a great flip anyways. Vintage Todd Old Hem Times 7. It's a sheath dress, and it was a beautiful pink weave. It had rhinestones along the white pocket line, and yeah, it sold for $30. It did take like 2 or 3 months to sell, but that's okay. With vintage, you never know what's going to happen with it, so cannot complain. The next item is a pair of White House Black Market trousers. These were these seasonless slim boot black new with tags pair. Sorry if I'm a little distracted. They sold for $27. And those did take less than 2 months to sell. Next item is a Sundance Violet dress in an embroidered boho purple. I do have a LiQWYD one without the slip that hasn't yet sold, but this one did sell within a couple weeks, even though it had the tag cut out. So, yeah, it's always interesting when the older item sells over the LiQWYD items, but I mean, both are flawed, so I get why. In this case, that might have happened. The next item is a Scotch and Soda button-down. This is the Party Animal Collection floral print top in a size XXL. It sold for $26. The next is a Vionic Ortho-Heel pair of ballet flats. These sold for $34, in a few days. So I don't know, maybe I need to start picking up Vionic again. The next is an Arc'teryx top, and it is orange, and it did take a few months to sell, but it did eventually sell for $28, so well worth grabbing it at the bins. The next pair is Clark's Artisan Velour Sky Brown boots. These I hauled recently. They sold quickly. I decided to go ahead and accept a $25 offer, even though it was a little low, but who can complain on that return on investment that quickly? And then we have R13. These are the Kate skinny jeans, and they are size 29. Even if they're skinny, R13 does great for me. I found these in a bin. Yeah, they sold for $50 in 4 weeks. The next is a Paige Hoxton skinny jean, and these sold for $23 within a few months. Then we have a pair of Nike free sneakers, and they sold for $26. I did get these for free from somebody who didn't want them. Yeah, great flip. And then we have the Cartonier Anthro wool coat that was so pretty with little quilting details, and it sold for $36 on Poshmark. Then we have the Athleta Retreat linen joggers. These are from 2023, so I knew that they do well, and they sold for $39, even though they are petite, which does sometimes take a lot longer to sell. Jimmy Choo, these are the Lucy flats. They did have a little bit of sole issue that was going to need to be repaired eventually. They sold for $70 though, so great find. Then we have the Rag & Bone jeans. These are the cigarette leg revolve pants. Sold for $25, did take a few months though. The ATM shift dress. This was a white linen dress. It did take a few months to sell, but I did pick it up, like when winter was starting, so I wasn't surprised by that. It did sell for $33. Good find. The next item is probably one of the oldest items I had, but in part because I didn't list it for the longest time, and then I listed it a little bit too high for, what it is. It's Jill Sander. These are the wide leg cropped khaki trousers. Yeah, so they, have been around for a little while, but they did eventually sell for $32. I'm going to take a sip. Hold on. Okay. Then we have a pair of Hudson jeans that I did get for myself. I think I only ended up wearing them once though, because they have a split all the way up to the knee, and your legs have to be shaved, and it has to be the kind of right transitional weather for them to be worth wearing. They sold for $40 full price, so I received $32. Very happy with that. Then we have Lululemon. This is the Hit Unwind top. It's a blue long sleeve with a side slit. It sold for $22. Again, a bins find. We can just assume the majority of these are bins finds, can't we? Come on, Hannah. Cool shorts. These are brown outdoor hiking cargo short, and they sold for $21 within a couple months. Then we have these smart wool leggings that I hauled recently. They sold for $30 within a couple weeks, or maybe like 1 week even. They sold pretty fast. Then we have Everlane. This is a cashmere sweater, boxy turtleneck. I probably could have, hung on to this longer, but I decided to sell it fast, and it sold for $23. The next, I sold 2 of these. Again, these were in less than 24 hours, so definitely a brand to keep an eye out for. It is the Brop brand Pepper. They were both new with tags. One sold for $29 and the other sold for $25. They sell small bust cups. So both these bras were 34 AA, and they did great. Lucky Brand, Javier's suede boots. These sold within less than 24 hours for $25 via an offer sent to me. I think it's because they lean a lot more Western than, their ankle boots do, with that little bit of extra height on the boot. So yeah, very happy. Then we have Universal Standard, not to be confused with Universal Thread. Universal Standard has its own sizing. It does a lot into the plus size region, so very all-inclusive. This dress sold for $42. Again, a bin's find. Then we have J. Crew mid-rise flare crops. These were new with tags, and they sold for $27. I did have them for a few months, but it was winter. Nobody's wearing white when it's raining. Just not a great idea. Then we have an Ann Taylor blouse. This was new with tags. It sold for $20 via an offer sent to me after about a month. And then we have the Levi's 501 shorts. These were mid-thigh length in a size 32. They sold for $25. Next is a pair of Abercrombie & Fitch baggy low-rise jeans. They sold for $34, even though they did have like a wash wear flaw. The wash was fading patchy. It was very weird. I've never seen that before, but there was nothing else wrong with them, so they still sold for $34. Maybe have any of you guys seen that before? Then we have Ms. Moos, and these are the Luna booties. They were a size 6, but because they were purple, they still sold for $69. I picked these up at the bins. Then we have J. Crew jeans. These are a 9-inch demi boot crop in a tall length, size 26. They sold for $30. Then we have the Madewell Perfect Vintage Straight jeans that had the really cool like blue dye, where there'd be like a second panel of fabric on a pair of carpenter jeans. And these I got in the ThredUp unboxing that I did recently. They sold for $37. Then we have a Peruvian Connection blouse. This sat for a few months, but I figured it would just because it's not substantial. It still sold for $20 via an offer sent to me. Then we have the Lucky Brand Bailey boot with like the ankle split that I am not a fan of personally, but they still sold for $20. Then we have a Patagonia swim top. This was a halter bikini top. I grabbed it on a whim at the bins. I didn't think it'd sell for this much, but it did. It sold for $21, which is great for like a used bikini top. That probably cost me like 40 cents. Then we have a pair of Monroe sweats. These are the mini leopard cashmere latte cotton. Yeah, they sold for $25. They were new with tags, but my cost of goods with them was only like $5 or $6 from new with tag outlet. They have been in my closet for many months, but that's okay. I've already made my money back on that box, so everything else is kind of pure profit. Then we have the NYX V-neck seamless bra in pink. This was a size XXL, and it sold for $24. NYX seems to do better in bras than it does in leggings. The leggings I have from them are still sitting. We're now down into Mercari sales. The first is a Trina Turk lemon shift dress. I picked this up on a whim at the bins because of the lemon print. I thought it was so cute, and I guess I was right because it sold for $45, which all of my other Trina Turk sits, but this one dress sold within a couple days, so very happy. Then we have Taylor Stitch. This is the raindrop button down, and it sold within a few days for $32. And then there's the Brooks Brothers Irish linen top. This was a men's button down, and it sold for $29 within a few weeks. Then we have the Title IX Diana Elite dress. This is a tennis or outdoor brand, and this dress sold for $24.30. Then we have the Patagonia Liliana halter dress. This sat for many months, and then I finally remembered to cross-list it, and it sold on Mercari within a month of being listed over there for $25.52. Then we have the Nordstrom maxi skirt that I had picked up for myself, but I didn't end up keeping it. I listed it, and it sold within a couple days for $25. Excuse me. So yeah, very surprised about that. Then we have the Madewell overalls. These are the Jansing wash, and they sold for $41. This person also bought another like Madewell blouse for like $10. So it was a great kind of sales day over on Mercari with those two sales. Now we have the Farm Rio jumpsuit. This was the boho 70s with like the little cream colored tassel detail along the neckline, and it sold for $61 within a few days. Like, yay. And then last but not least is a pair of Lucky Brand Mazan leather. I don't know if these would be more considered a loafer or booty, but they're kind of a hybrid between the two. But they sold for $21.53 within a month or two, I want to say. So yeah, we just blasted through over 50 sales that I've made for $20 or more. Hopefully that information helps you. You enjoy this video, hit subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. I've got thread-up boxes, hauls, you know, all that fun reseller stuff coming up. So stick around. Thanks, guys. Bye.